Hey, what's up everybody? It's Flux with Fluxwithit.com, and this video is just basically going to show some of the neat little quirks and tricks that I found in the MiniBrute. MiniBrute is an analog synthesizer by Arturia, and it has some quirks in it that remind me of some older analog synthesizers. And as you get to know your synth and kind of bond with it a little bit, you start to pick up on some of the interesting little tidbits that you can do with it. So something that I found first, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the mixer section here on the oscillator. The oscillator mixer section and the filter are directly related, and the reason they're directly related is once you go past a certain point on these lines here, your filter will start to overdrive. And something that I noticed in a lot of the videos is people are making sounds and they've got their oscillator section all way up high and everything sounds real gritty and all, which is awesome. I love that. But the MiniBrute can also do a lot more than just that gritty sound. So I'm going to show you an example real quick with a square wave. So this is clean with really no filter going on. I'm in low pass mode and I've got the cutoff all the way up and the resonance all the way down. And what I'm going to do, I'll start to bring the cutoff down and I'll push the resonance. Now if I go all the way up, I can get these distorted sounds. It just brings in a bit of harmonic. You can start to hear the upper harmonics kind of peek through a bit, and as you bring the resonance up a lot higher, the resonance will really scream on you. You can, of course, play the resonance by itself. But what we're going to do here is we're going to take this. You hear right there, it starts to. So when you're making your patches, if you want to have cleaner tones, you want to stay below that line on your oscillator mixer. And of course, as you add in more parts to your oscillator, you're going to want to stay lower. So when you bring in your sub oscillator, it kind of enhances. Now see, if I set these kind of side by side, or and I bring them down here and do the same. It's a little bit tamer. Come way down. Much. Okay, so that's an interesting little fact about the MiniBrute, is that you can actually make clean tones with it. It just depends on how hard you push this oscillator mixer section, because that's going to depend how hard you're going to overdrive your filter. Another interesting thing is I'll bring the cutoff and resonance all the way down. I've got all my oscillator mixers down here. Check this out. If I bring my brute factor up, listen to that sub. So that brute vector will kind of self-oscillate itself just by looping the internal audio. So I found that to be pretty interesting, and that's before the filter. So you can get these really thick sub bass tones, or you can get these biting basses out of it too. So that's pretty interesting. Another interesting thing that I found is the let's go ahead and bring up a sawtooth here. Okay, so we have the sawtooth up, and we want some vibrato on the aftertouch. Right, or we want the cutoff to be. But what if I want both? All right, you can really it snaps into place, and you're only supposed to pick one. But if you come and you let it kind of just barely hang in between the two, you can actually do both. And you can do the same over here with your mod wheel. So I have, and if I go in between the two, so you can get that kind of in-between mode out of these, which is really fun to mess with. One other quick thing that I did is, and it's less of a trick, it's more intended operation, but just something worth noting is the audio input section. I have a digital synth running into it right now. I've got the Ultranova going into it, and I'm on a initialized patch on it, so all I have going on it is a triangle with no other no filter or anything like that. Okay, so that's just a triangle on the. Now bringing in the triangle of the. And of course, you can detune them again. So what I like to do a lot of the times is I'll mix in the Ultranova. I have them just MIDI'd together, so they're triggering the same. And of course that's before the filter, so you get these fun little, you get this fun sound out of it. And of course if you start throwing in actually made patches on your Ultranova, which I'll do now. Let's go ahead and crank that back. So you can get these really interesting sounds by just blending oscillators and different sound sources right into your MiniBrute, which is great. So anyway, I just wanted to show you a little bit about how the oscillator mixer section can affect your filter drive, and how you can kind of set these little pots in between each other to get different abilities, you know. Pretty fun. Just to give you another example, I'll grab a couple of So anyway, lots of cool stuff you can do with it. And of course, you can throw it through pedals and all that fun. So anyway, this is Flux. Thought I'd show you what's up. Peace.